Our friend, what are your thoughts here? How should the state reset as part of the property tax policy, or, as Russell mentioned, maybe things are where they need to, generally speaking, be? And are you satisfied with what the legislature's done the last couple of years towards, at least reducing the state's part of the property tax burden?
Property taxes are a huge concern this election, and rightly so. Property taxes are a local issue too, though. It's very important to elect local officials, county commissioners, etc., that are fiscally responsible, and we need to hold their feet to the fire to keep them fiscally responsible. This is a huge deal, and school boards as well. And when the school boards bring up bond issues and expenses, we need to make sure that we're spending that money in the best possible and most efficient manner possible. These school bond issues affect our property taxes directly, so it's imperative to make sure that we are efficient with our tax dollars. And on the state level, yes, the property taxes are a problem, but one thing the legislature did do recently, there used to be a 1.5% of the property taxes went to the state. That was recently dropped off, so that 1.5% of the state property tax is no longer being collected. That was done by the legislature recently, and I do support that. One other thing I do support that was discussed last year is a cap on assessed value increases to prevent these enormous valuation spikes we've had recently. For example, in Coffee County, in 2023, the residential appraisal values on homes went up an average of 7.7%. That appraisal amount on residences in 2024 went up 15.3%. In 25, it was 20%. And this last year was 3 to 4%. So when you compound that, that's around 54% that the residential property values have increased since 2023. And that is not sustainable. So that, again, is why I do support some type of cap on the increase of appraisal or of assessed values on homes. But there are also some good programs out there to help with property tax expenses. There's the homestead refund at the state level that is a $700 credit that many people do qualify for. And it is a refund that you can get based upon your property taxes, and you've got to meet income qualifications. Some of those there's age limitations on that. Disabled veterans are eligible. If you're on Social Security, you might apply that. That's a very good program to help with property tax expenses. The downside of that program, though, is you've got to come up with that $700 up front, and then you get it refunded on your state tax return. And something I believe we should look at doing on that is have the state issue a voucher or a document of some type, so that if you've qualified for that in the previous year, if you're on Social Security, if you're over a certain age and under a certain income, that you shouldn't have to come up with that $700 up front, because many people on fixed incomes like Social Security struggle to come up with that $700 up front to get that money refunded several months later. They're going to get the money back anyway. So let's find a way to make sure these seniors aren't at risk of being evicted from their home due to tax bills, and make it so they don't have to come up with that extra $700 up front.